Well, I've wired it up. This is very much proof of concept or just testing it before we try and make it look neat. So we've got LiPo battery coming down here. We've got black wire, well, negative wire coming from the battery, going to the black wire that went to the little sensor. And also it's teed down to the motor. The red wire from the battery goes to the red wire that went to the sensor. The blue wire from the sensor that would normally go to the heater element is going to the other side of the motor. And then I will have to do a very close up to actually see the soldering that I've done, because I'm not proud of it. It's much too small for me to work on. But those two yellow wires go to the switch that's on there anyway. Now, the reason it's flicking on and off is it does work off a capacitance contact. In other words, if we just change the capacitance, it does actually switch it on. But I need it to stay on because it'll be flying and I won't be able to hold on to the capacitance lead. So by connecting the lead that does the capacitance to the negative, to the earth, the ground, via that switch, that keeps it on. So if I can do this, switch it on without cutting my fingers on the motor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. I counted to 8. That was just me counting out loud. I've no idea whether that was 10 seconds or not. But that's good enough for me. That's working. We now need to tidy it up so we haven't got bits of soldered wire blowing in the breeze and a battery that's going to fall off the top of the wing. But proof of concept, it has switched itself off or timed out, so I actually have to switch it off again before I can switch it on again. What's gone wrong there? I hope it hasn't. Oh no, we had a little light come back up again. Oh, I've got a loose wire in the connector there. I've tried to fix it by melting the tags together, but that's not working, so I'm going to have to replace that connector. Oh, that capacitance thing is going to get you every time. So just capacitance is enough to turn it on, but it doesn't stay on. We need to flip the switch, which I need to put somewhere where it's a bit easier to get to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's doing about 8 with me counting. I don't know whether that's actually 10 seconds or not, but that's good enough for me. That means it's not going to fly off. I'll see if I can do a close-up of the wiring. It's probably still not close enough. I think I'll disconnect the battery so we don't get anything unfortunate happen. Right, this is the interesting bit. Can we get really close on that? Right, it's a 5-pin chip. You can't see it because I've got a bit of yellow wire right in the middle, soldered onto the middle pin on this side. I think it goes 1, 2, 3 down this side, so that's pin 2. And then on the other side, there's only 2 pins. pin 1, get back in focus, pin 1 is actually connected to a little brass loop that goes all the way around the outside edge of that printed circuit, which is why I was able to solder the other yellow wire onto the other end of that little brass track. I say brass, whatever. Because there was no way I was going to be able to solder 2 wires so close together on those tiny tags. I mean, my soldering iron's as big as that chip, so trying to get a bit of solder onto one pin in the middle was quite an achievement. But apart from being technically difficult to do, or practically difficult to do, it is technically possible to use that little chip as a 10-second timer. I say 10 seconds, whatever, it's thereabouts, it's close to 10 seconds, that's good enough for me. So that's the circuit out of the vape, the sensor circuit. And when you activate it, it sends power down that blue wire. It must be positive going down the blue wire because the black wire is the negative. Yeah, it works. I'm pleased. Like I said, need to tidy it up, need to change that connector because that one is useless. You can probably see the black wire is actually slipping out the back. Let's go back to zoom. Yeah, that's what's happening. That black connector is sliding out the back. So as you push the battery connector in there, that tag's sliding out the back. So it's not making contact properly. So I need to replace that. Well, I was just looking at the circuit diagram again and realised that centre pin that I was very carefully soldering onto is ground. So I didn't need to solder onto it at all. I just needed the other side of the switch to go to the ground or the negative of the battery lead, which is where everything else is connected. So we're now connected on there rather than on pin 2 of there. Soldering onto that outside lead is easy enough. So now I can switch it on and it should run for 10 seconds that way. And there we go. So I didn't need to struggle and solder into the middle there. So that makes life a lot easier. So when I get to tidy it up, that's what we'll do. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment so I know how I'm doing. And somewhere up here there'll be some links to related playlists. Thanks again.